Focused and fearless. Here's everything you need to know this rush hour of March 10, Tuesday. I am Royce Snagit. Jump-starting today's rush with class suspensions being enforced in different parts of Luzon as part of COVID-19 precaution. President Duterte has suspended classes in all levels for the whole of Metro Manila starting today until Saturday, March 14. The City of Manila has extended its class suspensions until Sunday, March 15. No classes as well in all levels, public and private, in Bugalyon and Lingayen, Pangasinan today. Meanwhile, classes are suspended in the municipality of Mangatarem until Friday. Province-wide class suspensions are also enforced in Bulacan and Cavite. In Rizal, there are no classes in all levels in Cainta today, while in San Mateo, classes are suspended until Saturday. But don't think you're spared from reading your notes, kids. President Duterte himself reminds students that while class suspensions are in place, it's no excuse to be wandering off. Duterte says students should still be at home studying.
Even if they are in school, even if they are in their houses, they should be studying. So we place the responsibility for that in the barangay captain, and the enforcement would be the police.
Similar to the view of the Health Department, Duterte says it's still too early to impose a lockdown on Metro Manila. At least one lawmaker had already proposed that NCR be placed under lockdown to prevent further spread of the disease. But the president argues COVID-19 has yet to reach an epidemic nor a pandemic level in the country.
We have not reached that kind of contamination. Isa-isa lang. With this transmission, you want to close down the economy at this time. There will be a time, I suppose. I hope not. I hope God will have mercy on the Filipino people. It's too early. Hindi ko sinasabi na bakit hintayin mo ba magkasakit lahat. It's not that. But you have to balance.
However, Duterte himself said that the number of confirmed COVID-19 cases in the country is now at 24, while at least 41 people are still under investigation for the deadly disease. Despite confirmed cases of COVID-19 in the country increasing by more than double in just a day, the Health Department sees no community transmission yet. A first case of local transmission had been reported over the weekend, but the DOH says they are still studying whether the fresh cases are linked.
The main determinant para masabi mo may community transmission ka kapag ang mga kaso mo ay hindi na linked to each other. No? So, kaya nga po inaalam natin lahat itong mga kasong ito sa ngayon para makita natin if there are linkages between and among all of these positive cases that we have.
Meanwhile, the DOH reminds the public that those feeling under the weather but have no travel history in virus-affected countries or have been exposed to confirmed cases have lower risk of infection.
Yung mga tao na nakakaramdam ng parang tinatrangkaso sila or nakakaramdam ng simptomas related to COVID-19 pero walang history ng travel sa ibang mga bansa na may localized transmission o di kaya walang history of known exposure to those positive cases, ay hindi kailangang mabahala. Mababa ang risk nyo. Ang kailangan lang gawin, mag-monitor sa bahay ng kanilang mga simptomas. Pag nag-progress ang kanilang sakit, tumawag sa kanilang doktor o di kaya magpatingin. Pero hindi agad-agarang kailangang i-test ang mga taong to.
Senators were not convinced of the department's response, though. Lawmakers say the DOH failed to be transparent in providing information. Meandos Baños has the report.
I don't want to panic, but
Yes.
you're making me panic. Kasi
You're making me
yung
completely go
naririnig namin ngayon is parang hindi niya pinaghandaan na magkakaroon tayo ng local transmission.
Senator Nancy Binay was aghast upon the Health Department's confirmation that they only have 2,000 COVID-19 test kits. Though the DOH assured senators that 4,500 more test kits will arrive soon, Binay was dissatisfied as cases jumped over the weekend.
The reason why RITM needs to, has yet to provide us a number is there is a need for DOH to review its decision tools.
Hanggang ngayon nagre-review pa kayo ng decision tools
Para
kung
mo ng awa.
kailangan natin
mag-review,
mag-test.
action na.
Hindi po, what I mean is, at i-base nga po dun sa bago nating, i-base po sa bago nating decision tool, yung pangangailangan po. The previous decision tool only says those coming from areas with affected, yung mga countries po. But this time, this is already local transmission.
For Senator Amy Marcos, the agency's response is still slow, particularly on releasing information about the number of cases.
Kaya diskumpiyado lahat eh.
Yes
At
po.
kaya nagkakaroon ng panic kasi pa iba-iba na.
In its defense, DOH said it is still gathering data and is doing its best to update the public.
Every day there's new things coming up and we're trying to keep up with all this new information that we get. Like for the case, you said 4 cases. Actually, the specimen was taken in the morning and the result came out in the afternoon, something like that. It was really too fast. Like every day we try to give out all the information.
Senators also questioned the lack of strict protocols for cruise ships.
Tayo, based on your statement, parang tayo is hesitant pa rin tayo to make that decision whether or not to make them dock or not.
No po. The process po, ma'am, is they coordinate with the Bureau of Quarantine, and it is the Bureau of Quarantine
Nako,
who
teka
gives
muna,
them po.
kanina ka pang mga decision tool, process, pinag-aaralan. Baka mamatay na tayong lahat pinag-aaralan pa rin
Ma'am,
ng
hindi po siya.
DOH.
But Health Committee Chairman Bongo sided with the DOH. For Go, it's better to work with the agency than criticize it.
Hindi po makakatulong kung sisisihin pa natin sila. Ngayon, ang best approach is one step ahead po tayo.
Amid COVID-19 fears, lawmakers do not have to report for work on Tuesday. At their own risk, however, they have the freedom to conduct hearings on the crisis. Reporting for News 5, Mean Los Baños, we are One News. LGUs in Luzon are taking matters into their own hands in a bid to contain the spread of SARS-CoV-2. Marian Enriquez reports.
Starting with Quezon City, Mayor Joy Belmonte has ordered for contact tracing and containment measures. A patient who tested positive for COVID-19 has been admitted at a hospital in Quezon City. Isolation areas and triage have also been prepared in some of the city's hospitals. In Pasig, a case was confined at the medical city in Pasig, while another Pasigueño was confined in a hospital outside the city. Mayor Vico Soto ordered officials to cancel all public events and applications for permits for large events. This is on top of contact tracing and disinfecting. Over in Marikina, Mayor Marcelino Teodoro held an emergency meeting with teachers and city workers after a resident with travel history in South Korea tested positive for COVID-19. He ordered disinfection activities in public places. San Juan City Mayor Francis Zamora meanwhile suspended all government-related activities after a man in Green Hills tested positive for COVID-19. Private subdivisions were also asked to take precautionary measures. Cainta Mayor Kit Nieto has also begun stockpiling on infrared thermometer scanners and surgical masks for distribution after a couple in the city tested positive for COVID-19. In Lingayen, the LGU assures proactive steps after a patient from Australia that tested positive for the disease reportedly traveled to Lingayen to attend gatherings. Finally, Mandaluyong City Mayor Menchi Abalos is taking precautionary measures to protect senior citizens. In a statement, the mayor ordered the cancellation of social gatherings for seniors as they are the sector most at risk. As the number of COVID-19 cases rise in Metro Manila, Albay Representative Joey Salceda is calling for an NCR lockdown. This means a temporary work suspension, flight cancellation, and the closure of the South and North Luzon expressways. Salceda is also proposing a nationwide class suspension. For News 5, Marian Enriquez, we are One News.
In a taped message from Malacanang, President Duterte told Filipinos to only listen to credible sources regarding the virus outbreak. Duterte also reminded the nation to practice proper hygiene to prevent the spread of the SARS-like disease.
May umatsing ka, takpan mo bunganga mo, at tingnan mo at hindi ka makahawa sa ibang tao. Kung ikaw naman ay may ubo, magmask ka na lang.
But despite the virus outbreak, the president will not make any changes to his schedule. In fact, he even brushed off the presidential security group's no-touch policy.
I want an embrace. Why only a handshake? Kulang yan. Maniwala ka na, PCG. Kalukuhan niya. Putol-putol. I will shake hands. Anak, ilang kong bang sinasabi na sa iyo na kung tawagin na ako ng Diyos ngayon, oras na ito, pupunta na ako. Tapos na ako. Naging presidente na ako. I will not decline invitations. Okay. I will shake hands with everybody. I am going to Mindanao to visit my dead soldiers, if they are still there, and to congratulate my warriors.
On the other hand, Vice President Leni Robredo also reminded the public not to panic and simply follow these steps to protect ourselves against the coronavirus.
Paalala lang, ugaliing maghugas lagi ng kamay gamit ang tubig at sabon at gumamit ng mga alcohol-based sanitizer. Iwasang hawakan ang mukha nang hindi naghuhugas ng kamay. Iwasan ang contact sa mga hayop at mga taong may sintomas ng sakit. Gumamit ng tissue o malinis na panyo sa tuwing babahing. Uminom ng maraming tubig. Kumain ng masustansyang pagkain at siguraduhing maayos ang pagkakaluto ng mga ito. At agarang kumonsulta sa pinakamalapit na health facility kung may ubo, sipon, lagnat at iba pang sintomas ng sakit.
Meanwhile, aviation authorities say they are willing to drop some fees to help the airline industry weather the impacts of COVID-19. Gerard de la Peña with the story.
The Ninoy Aquino International Airport is normally teeming with passengers at this time of the year. But ever since the government imposed travel restrictions due to the COVID scare, passenger count dropped 20 to 30%, while the number of flights slid by 25% or 100 flights a day. Airlines are looking at billions of pesos in losses. To aid airline companies, the Manila International Airport Authority and the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines will allow local carriers to defer payment of landing and takeoff fees to next year.
Makakatulong na malaki ito sa kanilang mga gastusin sa pang-araw-araw just to make sure that their flights will continue on. Kaya kami ay magbibigay ng deferment is also to encourage local tourism.
The MIAA, one of the biggest contributors to the state's profits every year, said the move will not affect their operations. Some airline executives are also taking matters into their own hands. Bloomberg reported that Cebu Pacific executives agreed to take pay cuts instead of laying off employees. The MIAA also assured passengers that it does constant disinfection inside the terminals. At the MRT Taft Avenue station, passengers are seen wearing face masks to minimize the risk of contracting COVID-19.
Hindi naman po sa scared, pero better safe than sorry po.
Mahirap na yung pagkawas na nagkasakit ka. Siyempre, may mga pamilya mo na nag-aalala din sa'yo.
Authorities assured that trains are being disinfected during turnaround. MRT personnel also apply disinfectants to handrails, and the respective management teams of LRT Lines 1 and 2 and MRT 3 have provided alcohol and hand sanitizers that passengers may use at the entry points and ticket booths of all stations. For News 5, Gerard de la Peña, we are One News.
Moving on to some headlines abroad. The DFA is verifying reports that 6 Filipino crew members aboard the Grand Princess cruise ship in California tested positive for COVID-19. At least 21 people in the cruise ship are reportedly infected. And of its 3,500 passengers, more than 500 are Filipinos, mostly crew members. DFA Assistant Secretary Eduardo Meñez says they are working on the repatriation of the Filipinos there.
Ang gusto namin mangyari ay hindi maulit yung nangyari sa Diamond Princess na tumagal sila on board.
As of this morning, there are now over 113,000 COVID-19 cases worldwide. The death toll is almost at 4,000, while over 62,000 people have already recovered from the disease. The World Health Organization says the world is at the brink of a coronavirus pandemic, but the group says the outbreaks may still be controlled, though a combination of containment and mitigation measures. After all, 93% of the global case count is still confirmed or confined in 4 countries.
Now that the virus has a foothold in so many countries, the threat of a pandemic has become very real. But it would be the first pandemic in history that could be controlled. The bottom line is we're not at the mercy of the virus.
And that's how the day is shaping up to be. Join us again next time for another round of Rush. For Riza Diaz, I am Royce Snagit. We are One News.